Hello, it's Kristy here, and in this video I'm going to introduce you to the Big Shot machine. So here we have the Big Shot that's from Sizzix. Now Sizzix is a great company and it's a really good machine, very high quality. And it used to be offered an electric version where you can just push a button, but now it's only available in the hand crank version. Now this is what it looks like. It's got a nice foundation so it doesn't wiggle a whole lot, and it's got great quality parts. And there's great customer service from Sizzix with this as well. Because this machine is such a great machine, you will see me use it quite often in my classes. Now one of the great things about the Big Shot is that you can use pretty much any die with it. Now it comes with these different pieces. It comes with some 2 cutting plates, and it also comes with this multi-purpose platform. Now the great thing about this platform is that the tabs tell you exactly which tabs to use for which type of dies and embossing folders that you're using. So it's right there on it, so there's no need to memorize it as to what plates to use. It's all right there. So you can see you can use this for embossing folders. This top one's used with the wafer thin dies. It's really great that it's all connected, and that's all you need is just this and the 2 cutting plates which already come with the Big Shot. So let's go ahead and see how these work with all the different types of dies. So the first being the steel rule dies. Again, these are the super thick dies that are about 5 inches thick, and the cutting edge is protected inside this foam piece in this die. Now this die can cut through pretty much anything. So for the Big Shot, all you need is one of your cutting plates, put it down with the die and the paper on top, and then put the other cutting plate on top and run that through the Big Shot machine. Now you'll hear some popping and snapping, and that's perfectly normal, and you will see that the blade does cut into the cutting plate, but that is the point of the cutting plate. But you can keep using these cutting plates over and over and over again, and if they fade out on you, you can always replace them, but I've never had to. But here's how you can see how you can use those steel rule dies with the Big Shot. Next, look at the thin dies with foam on the Big Shot. So I have this die here from Stampin' Up! And Sizzix. It's a little bit thicker than the thin dies, but thinner than the steel rule dies that we just did. Now for the Big Shot, it's really simple. You turn to tab 1 where it says Sizzlets here. That's the type of die that we're using. You just want to run through the machine with tab 1. So you start by putting your cutting plate down. You always put your paper and die between 2 cutting plates. So we put our die down, put the paper on top, and then another cutting plate on top of that. Now it's up to you whether you want to do the paper or the die down first. It's whatever works best for you, and you run that straight through the Big Shot. Next looks at the wafer thin dies with the Big Shot. This works really well. There are many popular wafer thin dies on the market today, and they all work the same. So thanks to the multi-purpose platform, you can just keep all the tabs closed when you do these wafer thin dies. So I'm going to put the multi-purpose platform down first, then take one of my cutting plates, and then I'll put the paper down and then the die down. You can either put the die on top or the paper on top, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put my paper down and my die on top of that, and I'm going to finish it off with a cutting plate. Now one of the things I wanted to mention as part of this class is that I'll have PDFs of all the sandwich recipes as to what plates to use and when with all the different dies. So something that you can print off and have on hand with whatever dies that you might be using. So there you'll get a perfect cut with a wafer thin. Now the last thing I want to cover in this class is embossing folders. Now they're not actually die cuts, but they are used with your Big Shot machine. There are many awesome embossing folders on the market, including some from Sizzix, Cutterbug, Stampin' Up! They all work basically the same. So this is an embossing folder. One side's female, one side's male, and they fit together to give this real great embossed papers. Now the embossing folders are really easy to use with this machine because on the multi-purpose platform it shows you exactly which tab to use. You want to use tab 1 as shown in the picture here. If you're embossing with something thicker like fabric or grunge paper, I recommend not using any of the tabs so you have less shims in there, but you want to play around with that. But with most embossing folders you just want to use tab 1 when you're using embossing folders, and again it's written right on there so there's no guessing game, or you can refer to the PDF that will be included in this class. So I'm going to put my cardstock right in there, and you'll notice that you can put the embossing folder through either direction. You can have it landscape or portrait. It really doesn't matter, it just depends on what you're doing, but it's just easy to emboss the front of your card, and there you have a perfectly embossed piece of cardstock. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.